I'm live. Okay, so I'll just play this and enjoy from the beginning. Doop, 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 doop. Let's see if this is gonna work. I think it's gonna be good. I think Wilco's Dream Stream is gonna be amazing tonight.
Oh god, what have I done? No. No. This is amateur hour. There you go. No.
Let's see if this is gonna work. I think it's gonna be good.
Enjoy.
I think Wilco's Dream Stream is gonna be amazing tonight. I think I'm going to Google a lot of things that I don't know about Godot and implement some things, maybe, hopefully. Making games is difficult. If anyone told you it was easy, they are lying. It probably does get easier over time, but your experience will likely mimic something like my experience if you're a programmer and kind of just getting into game dev and trying to create a game first try. There's a lot of stuff to learn about game dev, and I've already been learning quite a lot. I've done a little bit of game dev before, so not all of it is new to me. A lot of the concepts aren't new. Godot is fairly new to me. I've done a little bit of work in Unity just for fun, but still learning Godot, learning things. So what we're trying to do is we're making a multiplayer first-person. I thought of some other things that'll help. Screen. Yeah. Okay, that should do it. Game, I think it's going to be cooperative, which will be something that makes it a little bit different than most multiplayer FPS games. Anyways, we'll take a look at what we got so far. Working titles, Life is Cheap. The name will change. That's just what it's called right now. Okay, so this is the host, and someone's going to join the game. Wow. And then I've, since the last stream, or the last one that's up, I've added this this chat ability so that we can talk to each other. Hello. Wow. Okay, so then maybe this. Oh shit! I exited out. Oh my god! What has happened? Okay, I am other guy. I should probably make it so you can't hit space, or space doesn't jump when you type it. Wait, and you can move when you're typing. That's cool. Someone will just be typing like, "Yo, what's up?" and then they just jumped off a cliff. That's gonna be definitely. I'm leaving that. That's hilarious. I'm leaving that in the game. You have to be careful when you're typing. That's half the fun of my game. Okay. It works. Yeah, interesting. When something grabs focus, I just assumed that these other controls wouldn't register. What a fool I was. So I will have to, figure out how to stop that. And I mean, that's, if you're creating a game, or, you know, realistically this happens with any project, but really I find it more with this game creation stuff, is like the amount of like bizarre side effects and unintended consequences is quite high. You don't spend most of your time on the fundamental logic of the game. You spend most of your time like handling bizarre edge cases due to the nature of so many components interacting. Like game dev's kind of unique for that. Like you just have so many things going on at once. Like typically if you're programming other stuff, you're trying to keep it fairly procedural. You want to keep complexity to a minimum, and of course you do with video games too, but it's just harder with video games. There's so much interaction between everything. Side effects are everywhere. You try and avoid side effects in most projects as much as you can, but in video games they're like kind of they're just pretty much a way of life. Like you can't really program like this without having side effects. I'm not an expert on how Godot exactly was built to be. It seems to be flexible in how you approach it. I would prefer to do everything in one master script if possible. I don't know if that's a thing. I saw that you can do something like you can auto-load a script, and I'm wondering, like, I want to experiment with this to see why you don't do this exactly. But I might just do some research and some Googling to figure out why people don't do this. You can just auto-load a root script, and I think you could just kind of do everything from there. Obviously, if your game gets too complex, that might not be great. But this approach, like there's trade-off style approaches. Usually when you're breaking things out, it's because your project's too big and you need to do that. If you're doing that at the beginning, you don't get any of the benefits of doing that. really. Like, if your script's pretty simple, you might as well have it all kind of in one place. If your project is massive, like if you're working on, like, say, like WoW, like World of Warcraft, and you come into it and you're like, hey, you need to change this one feature, it's nice to be able to scope what is affecting that, what is actually affecting what you need to be changing. Because you can be like, oh, it's like this thing, this component, this component, this component. That's everything to do with this functionality. But if your game's very tiny, you know, because in World of Warcraft you don't want to have like a 20 or like say like a 1 million line file managing everything, because it would be like impossible to do anything in it. But at the same time, if you're breaking everything out when you have a small project, that has the negative. That's the inverse side of that. It's like you're adding this complexity of splitting things up when it's not really needed. You know, because you have a lot of encapsulation issues and like inheritance issues, it seems to me, to do it this way, where you're going like, you know, and you're not getting the benefit of the scale where that trade-off might be worthwhile. So to me, it's interesting programming this because it goes against a lot of my thinking. It also makes it difficult to understand how your code's running procedurally. So like, cause like you have so many side effects and so much mutability, which is generally like considered like code smells to most other types of programming. You try and avoid this stuff. So I'm trying to figure out like, okay, like how do I avoid like this stuff? And like, I need to talk to some really experienced Godot devs and ask like, you know, it's convention to avoid mutability and side effects. Do good Godot developers try to avoid those things? Like, and how do they do it? Or do they just embrace and go, this is the nature of game design. I know the game's going to be large in the end and I'm just going to do it this way because it'll always end up this way. I don't know. I really need to talk to good game devs. I don't know too many of them. I actually don't know if I know any very experienced game devs. It's a little out of my wheelhouse. Anyways, what I'm going to attempt to do today is I want to cast a ray from, I think, the player when they click shoot. And that's going to lead into the next part of the game here. And let me just see if I can just draw it out here. Scala draw. Okay, so this is all wrong. Everything changes all the time. Except this is right. I don't know if we'll do that. It would be quite difficult. Like, it would just be a time sink. Like, I could probably do it. It would just be like... Yeah, well, it'd be nice to do that because you'd learn a lot about, like, maybe transpiling and some things about compiler, building compilers and stuff. So you'd learn some pretty interesting stuff probably attempting this. But, like, the rabbit hole size of that is just massive. I don't know if you know what scope creep is. It's when your game just gets gigantic because you're not doing a great job of saying no to things and you just want to add everything. And honestly, that usually makes worse projects to begin with. Like, it's like a movie director is good for the focus, right? You don't want 10 movie directors on one project because you just want one person's like very clear interpretation. Like some artist like giving you art, not just like taking 10 like famous paintings and blending them together into like a mush. So yeah, it's not going to cost, I don't think, $1 per life. I think it will just, if I can sell this at all, it'll just be sold for like a price, like it'll be like $20. And I think it's co-op, and this is, so I think what it's going to be is like you place things like bricks, kind of like Minecraft, but not quite. So I would like people to be able to import 3D models of some sort, or at least to be able to select, like, I want a brick, I want a cone, I want a cylinder, and then you place them on the levels. And I think like what's going to happen is something like catapults and various other things shoot at you. You must build a bridge to the other side and survive. And if all like respawn, I'm just making this up, this will all change. Like, never overplan shit. If someone plans a lot, they've usually never built anything. So like, I don't know if that's completely true, but in my experience, it's almost completely true. It's like, if you're planning a bunch of shit and you've never even built a game before, like, you're wasting your time and you're being unrealistic with how creating things works. Like, you're probably new to creating things. Not there's anything wrong with that, but it's like, just, if you're doing that, take notice of how much of it gets redone. Like, just keep a copy of your original plan and see how little you used it, and then don't bother next time, basically. Like, the goal of this game is to make something someone will play, something that I would play like as well, like something that I like that hopefully other people like. That's the point. And if you're not planning with other people, if you're planning yourself even, it's like you're missing half of like you're already missing half the info you kind of need right there. So it's like it's just not generally worth doing. Once you create anything and then get people using it, they never use it the way you expect anyway. Like, I bet more addictive games have come out of side effects of the game's design than of what it was intended to do. Like, you make a game and then people start doing something weird with it, and you're like, oh, that's the actual fun thing about my game, not what I thought it would be. So anyways, respawn takes 30 seconds. Like, I'm going to do I only plan for what I kind of, like, need. I don't really want to get into depth. I don't want to draw diagrams or anything. It's not going to... Because, like, how am I going to plan things out if I don't even know if I can actually import 3D models or if I'm just stuck with, like, cubes? I mean, like, you know, it's like, I don't even know what my limitations even are yet. Like, I might not be able to place anything at all, and that's going to really change the game if I can't figure that out. Because, you know, some of these things are not exactly trivial. It's not the hardest thing to do, and hopefully other people have done it, but it's also, like figuring out every edge case around placing objects and deleting objects in 3D is not small. And, like, if you're, like, making an indie game like this, you need to keep the scope of things small. So it's kind of like, I think you can have, like, 1 or 2 things in your game, like, that are like, oh yeah, it's a game where you can build stuff. Like, and, like, that's gonna be the bulk of the effort. Like, if you're trying to make something like a AAA game where you're like, you can do this, you can do this, wow, there's a crafting system, wow, there's a trading system, a marketplace, you'll never finish it. Like, I think you can do, like, one thing. If you look at, like, startups and how startups work in businesses, they shoot for one piece of unique functionality, one thing that makes your game different. And then if people like that aspect of it, because that is the main aspect, then you can build the rest of it. And you can build it so in a way that, you know, you're getting feedback, you're shaping it around that, you can figure out the other features people want and add them over time. Like, you know, your effort is not linear to the result. Original WoW, like World of Warcraft, was very different than what it is now, but people still loved it. Right? It was only a kernel of what's there now. So it's like you don't really want to take on too much of scope, and even that scope was huge. But so I mean, don't try and create WoW if you're one person, number one. But so we're gonna have, like, various enemies shooting at you. You build a bridge to go to the other side and survive. I'm not sure exactly what this looks like. I don't know if I pre-build the levels. I don't know if the community pre-builds the levels. I don't know if that's part of the game. I have no idea. I just know I need a catapult, and it needs to be able to shoot at you while you build things. That's basically what I think the direction I'm going so far. I need that functionality to have a game at a minimum, I believe. So I think that's about it. Respawn takes 30 seconds. All players, if all players are dead, game is over. So it's like, if a catapult knocks everybody off at once, like, if you have one last player who's camping or hiding in a corner and then everyone else respawns, that's fine. But if like everyone gets killed, then it's over. It's the same way that Synergy, the co-op mod in Half-Life 2 works. It's a pretty specific example, I guess, because probably a lot of people haven't played that. But basically how that works is, like, the enemies shoot at you and they do kill you and you do respawn after a while, but if everyone's dead, the game's over. So it's funny because, like, when you get down to one last player, they often try to just, like, book it the other way and run around a corner and just wait. I don't know if I really like the mechanic of waiting, but at least this is a game and it's a place to start. This might not be the actual win and loss conditions. It could be for example, it could be, this might be more fun. Team has set number of lives. If all lost, game is over. That might be better. I don't know, right? So that's something we'll have to try. I'll just do this one, actually, because this is actually, I think, easier. This is actually easier to program. So it's like, we'll just go with that. If I have no opinion either way, do the thing that's easier, right? And then, you know, this is pretty proven. Like, this is a very standard and safe bet. Not that you should be taking safe bets necessarily, but it should be fine. So, right. So, you know, to get people to pay $20 in it, now we have to figure out how to do a raycast and how to place a box there. So let's start working on that. There's a lot of things I don't know about Godot, because, like, this is really annoying. I have to, like, do host and join every time. I don't know how testing in Godot works. Like, I don't know how to make a test script that just loads the game and goes straight into hosting. So I just hit one button and it does that. I'm gonna hope it's possible. I don't know how game devs test, like their code or how they do any of that side of things. Like how do you test a AAA game exactly? Like what does that even look like? What does the tooling even look like for that? Because I have a feeling, you know, if you're making Uncharted or something like that, you're not playing through Uncharted to get to every single part, right? Like you have some alternative setup for how you test the game. Like how do I load straight into the middle of a level? How do I load, like, you know, with all that stuff? How do I load a game with state? So that is something that we'll eventually run into down the line. And like these are things that people don't think about when they're getting into game dev and stuff. Even if you're making a simple game, it's not just the game you're creating. You're creating the test infrastructure. With a multiplayer game like this, you're doing all sorts of like RPC calls, which add an incredible amount of complexity to the game and to, because like your code is no longer procedural at all if you're doing these calls that can be called by other people or yourself and yourself. It just gets, like, the mental complexity of a game is crazy compared to like a website. Just in case you know, if you're coming from the web dev side, like prepare for like exponential storing exponential number of functions in brain RAM, because like it's just like you're never going to be able to figure out this spider web of crap. It's not necessarily spaghetti code. It's just like, I don't know what you would call it. It's just like necessarily not procedural. Like it can't really be procedural because actions can happen at any time. So by definition of it being a game where anyone can put input at any time, nothing or very little can be truly procedural except for small parts of it. It all has to be programmed super defensively to make sure like it doesn't just crash. Anyways, that's enough about talking about programming stuff. Let's actually see if we can make a raycast. I have no idea where to start. Let's ask ChatGPT. How do I make a raycast in Godot 3D? Add a raycast node. Object wishes to originate. Okay, well that seems easy enough. So that would be the player. Another thing that I don't really understand well and will do wrong and have to refactor constantly is how you break apart the world and the player. And like there's a million ways to do anything and they all seem wrong to me. Because I would just be using one master script to do this, or a few, and they get broken up by part and functionality. To me, like, this whole problem seems artificial and very, like, object-oriented programming. It reminds me a lot of that, where it's like, you don't need to have this problem, so why do you have it? It's probably from my own ignorance of not understanding something. Like, this is probably the smart way to do it, but to me, I probably have, like, Dunning-Kruger, where it's like, I don't know enough to know what I don't know. And clearly whoever made Godot is a better programmer than I am, because like this stuff is not a joke, right? Making games is not a joke. Making software that makes games is deadly serious. It's gonna be like one of the most complex things you can do. Okay, anyways. Getting started, making incredible things. Trusting ChatGPT, usually a mistake, but we're gonna do it anyway. It's wrong most of the time, at least in a few ways. But we're gonna see how much it understands Godot and how Godot works. It's like the raycast. Okay. Raycast. Oh, configure the raycast. Oh, that's it? Just one node? Cool. Okay, I guess we'll just call it player cast or something so it's a little bit... Just to make it a little more descriptive. Whoops, what am I doing? Boop. So it extends the class raycast 3D, which is going to have a bunch of crap in it. I don't like object-oriented programming much, and it seems like to me, I'm not an expert in object-oriented programming, but it seems to me that the whole paradigm of Godot is basically OOP. I believe. Because I'm extending a class there, right? So, well, I think I am, right? It uses a lot of OOP, like, yeah, class. It's I don't really know what it is, because it uses a lot of, like, functional paradigms and a lot of OOP paradigms. Like, this whole tree and everything here is pretty, like, inheritance kind of based to a degree, I guess. but then like in the programming itself, it's like functional. A lot of, not just because it functions, but because it's like these are not associated with a class. So you have a split, you have like data encapsulated with functionality in every node, which is OOP, and you have functionality broken out away from data in every script. Like, it's super weird. I don't know the reason for it. I'm sure there is some. Maybe it just is the best fit for, because I mean, like, to be fair, like, if you're gonna fit OOP to things, this is exactly what it fits pretty well. Like, this, like a node graph of things follows inheritance patterns pretty well and object-oriented patterns. So like it would work well for this. It fits the paradigm well. Maybe it fits that better than functional stuff typically does, so they just did it that way. Maybe it's easier to work on. Make sure it's enabled. Cast 2. How do I see the direction of the cast? Okay, there's the... Wait. What? Whoa. This is weird to me because, like, it's not like a rotation or anything. It's just, like, can it cast... Can you... Oh, okay. It is a rotation. I thought it was, like, each direction or something, and I was like, you can just cast 3 directions at once? Okay. And also, is this the max extents? Or is this just the direction? I think that's just the position. Maybe it's just like the direction, and so you have kind of an indicator graphically. Maybe that's what that does. I hope it's not the extent of the range of it. Like, that'd be fine, but it's not clear that that's what that does. Hit from inside, hit back faces. Okay, I think I understand kind of what's going on here. I don't think we want hit back faces on ever. I could be wrong about that, but I can't think of a single situation in our use case here where you would ever want to touch the back face of something. So I'll just go with that for now. Collision mask, I can't remember what layer the player is on. He's on layer 2. So layer 1, I guess we'll just leave that the environment or something. Check for collisions against. Make sure it's enabled either through the editor or by script. I don't know what make sure it's enabled through the editor means exactly, but I think we just do, what is it called, the onReady var thing. I'll just steal it from here. There we go. What do I have a... What are you? Oh, that's documentation. I don't know why the documentation's here, but player raycast equals. And we just drag it in from here. And that didn't work. What have I done? Have I failed? Either through the editor. I guess maybe that is the correct location for it if it accepts it. But maybe the raycast should probably not have its own script, I guess, is what it's basically getting at. It's interesting you can just ref itself like that. I think probably this is a mistake? I'm gonna guess. I think you're probably supposed to do something like this. We'll just get rid of this guy. And you would do, probably just put it in here. And like, this will be fine until we find a reason not to put it in here, right? But if you never find a reason not to put it in there, you're probably good. I need an input to just check. I just need to fire this raycast, and I don't even know how I can visualize a raycast. Raycast, if you don't know what it is it's a line that projects out into space to detect collisions against other objects. It's just like literally a vector, literally a line. in 3D space. Or 2D space if you're doing 2D games, I guess. But it's a vector 3 in 3D and it would be a vector 2 in 2D. I don't even know what I'm typing. If event is now I gotta figure out like input event mouse button. See, this is interesting to me too because it seems like there's a whole bunch of different ways to do controls. And I don't really know when you would do which one. Alright, let's just see if this works first of all. And, oh, it hates whatever's going on here. Button left. What does an input event actually have? Is action? You know what would be interesting if we can do? Just to... We'll just paste the docs right into ChatGPT and see if we can figure it out. This is what it thinks now, but we'll see if it's right. You can use ChatGPT to help you program. Often it's not that much faster. It tends to be kind of good to give you ideas of how something should be done, although it often gives code that doesn't really work or has like really strange like it can't even figure it out with the documentation, so it's a little interesting. It really likes this button index thing. Get button index. Why is it mad? This is probably probably should be a wait. Default 0. Okay, so it should just be like... I would guess that the left or the right mouse button is 0, maybe? Again, no idea if this is the correct way to do this. See if this even registers. Oh wait, the debugger's doing weird crap. Come on, debugger. I think it should show up here if it's going to work, but I don't think it is. So it's like you do spend a lot of your time, or like if you're me, like I just don't know what the methods are in this to do all of this stuff. Pressed. If I do press, it should just grab either one, right? So, like this should work as much as I can, as far as I can tell. What? Did I not just read that it was in there? What? I must, like, it has to be this, and then therefore it has to have that. Oh, is it not a function? What? Is it not something that returns something? Is it actually just a straight up bool? Okay. Maybe that's a thing. Okay, yeah, there you go. It's not a function that returns a bool. It is a bool. It's probably in the docs. I probably just misread it. Bool pressed. I figured it'd be a function that runs on that frame that then returns it, but it's simpler than that, I guess. It's just returning the bool. So we can do and what was that other thing called? And button index equals 0. So, you know, it's not the main game logic always takes the most time. You're just figuring out, you know, how do I even register a mouse click if it's the first time you've done it. And I mean, of course, like everything, and the reason why you want to scope small is it never ends up small anyway. I have to figure out how to do a menu that rebinds all of these. That's going to change all of this code. So all of this will change, virtually necessarily, right? So keep your scope small, because there's going to be, like, half the code you're doing is going to be things you just didn't think of. Wait, can you do and like that? Or is that the right way to do and? Or is it actually just and in this? I do not get this language. I guess either's fine? Okay, well now it's raging. Is that the right way to do equals in this? Is it double or triple? It's probably just double, right? I'm just gonna do this. It seemed to not like it, so... Oh, what? Wait a minute. That's so weird. That works now for the right click, but I swear it wasn't working for the left click on this. Or maybe that and was wrong. Wait, is 0... Maybe it's mouse wheel? I have no idea. This is why I guess we use enums. Yeah, okay, so 1 is right and 2 is left. I would have thought it would default to one of them, but apparently not. Unless it's mouse wheel down or something that I don't understand. Okay, so now we know when it's pressing a button. That last 5 whole minutes was just that. So that's great. And now I guess we can cast array, maybe. I guess we have to go way up and figure out what it said for... Okay, so we should... Wait, the raycast, I don't tell it to fire? It's just always firing? This is interesting to me. Returns the collision point. Get collider. I guess it fires every single frame? Maybe it has to do that for reasons I don't exactly understand, but... This point's in the global coordinate system. Okay, well how do I get it not... do I want that? Do I want that? I do not know. I kind of just want the point, and then I want to, like, draw something at the point. Returns the normal intersecting object shape at the collision point. If the ray starts inside the shape. I think this is what we want, get collision point. Like, I don't even care if it's, like, as long as it's enabled and firing all the time. I just want to draw a point at where it's... Except I'll never be able to see it because I have my crosshair in the center. Wait, I can see it from the other player, but then I have to figure out how to synchronize all this crap. Again, like, all this has to be rewritten because I also have to make this work with in multiplayer as well. So if you're actually going to do this, you have to figure out, like, once you click, how does it run an RPC or some kind of thing to sync up? And even when the other person loads the level, how do they download all of the things you've currently placed? Like, how do they know all of that already, right? So that's the problem is on YouTube you see a lot of toys, like just toy projects, and the difference between a toy project and a real project is they skirt around intentionally all the actual difficult parts, and they just do like the simplest, most basic things that avoid the real work that happens when you do larger projects. You know, they're like 20% of the work it realistically will be, because they just skirt around everything that's difficult. Okay, so collider dot get collision point. It's not called raycast. I think it should have IntelliSense on that, I believe, but it doesn't, which is concerning to me. Do I have to type it? Is this a thing? That's gonna be really annoying if I have to do that. Yeah, I hate non-strongly typed languages. This should be forced, always. Typing should always be forced. Especially because you can optimize your language a lot that way, and like you always, like, apparently there was an issue with this and I didn't know. Oh, wait, no, I'm an idiot. Just missing an indent. I also don't like indented languages that don't use just like that. I don't know if you can you just do this on this language? This language is like the most like, no, you can't do that. But like it's like a Frankenstein type of language. It reminds me of JavaScript where it's just like do whatever the hell you want, which is great for new people. But then when you get used to language, or you use like a really good language like Rust or something, if you're Rustation, you come back to this and you're just like, it lets you make so many mistakes, which and when you're programming a project that's already so complicated, like I couldn't get these functions because it didn't know the type here, and it's like you can make so many mistakes that way. Wait, do we have null values? Gross. Gross. No. Okay, I don't think collision point is actually a thing. Like, what would the type be? What does this return? It returns an object. The hell is an object? Get collision point. Well, let's just see if it runs, and maybe we can. Is it print or is it log? I just did like 10 seconds ago and I can't remember. I can also log it to the actual screen, but I don't know if that's probably not as smart as actually just doing a real log. Okay, print does exist. Okay, good. Okay. Except I have no IntelliSense, so I have no idea what's on here. Literally just said object. I guess it's because it could be anything. I have to think about this. I'll just throw this in here and hope it figures out this is crap. It seems almost correct. No, it doesn't. Let's try that. Just collider.name. Alright, let's see if this runs. I just get a lot of debug messages. Well, let's fix that one. New action escape. Okay, I think that's a good thing to do. Seems like it might get rid of a bunch of errors. Okay. Wait. Okay. So that doesn't seem like a real error. But it did not give us the name of. Actually, you know what I should do? Firing ray. Just to make sure it actually is doing anything. It might not be colliding because I believe the player is on a different layer than the... I don't know why I did that. Okay, firing ray. It should say like whatever the name of this collider is, but maybe names aren't set by default on the environment. So let's take a look. Do you... What? Okay. If you're not editable, so this would be, well, I mean, like, does it actually have a name? I have no idea how you name something. Or is this the name? Who knows? Okay, what else can we get from here? We could just print this out. Just to make sure it's actually doing something. Just print that. Okay, get collision point. What was that? What did that say? That's a little scary. Okay, so our raycast is not interacting with stuff. There's one. Collision shape. Seems good. Collision layer 1. Wonder what I'm doing wrong. See, this is why I need viewers, and you could be like, hey, what am I doing wrong here? Somebody help me. It's always something small too. It's just like, why? It's gonna be like someone who's experienced, they'll just be like, oh, it's just that, and you're like, dang it, it's just that. It could be because I'm not firing the ray. Like, is it not enabled? Enabled. Collide with areas? What is an area? Is that a 2D thing? Oh no, or can it not print the vec3? It should be able to, I think, but... Or is it colliding with... You know what it might be? I don't have it colliding with inside faces. And it's probably trapped inside my character, right? So if you have hit from inside and hit back faces on, maybe that's the problem. Or that's not the problem? That's probably one of the problems. I'll just try that as well. I hate how it's complaining about this blend file stuff. Stop it. I have no idea why I can't, like, really... I might have to duplicate it or something weird. But, oh, did I not save this? Let's just try all this just to be safe. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What? Oh, I'm hitting myself? What? Why did it hit once? You saw that. Why did it hit once? Great. So dumb. So dumb. Does it only fire once? Let's clear this out and try that again. Let's figure out what it fired on. Okay. It doesn't care about the level. What? What did it hit? Man, I almost need to like review the stream to see what I clicked on. It's like, what did it hit the one time? I cannot get it to do it again. Okay, let's try this. I don't really know what the difference between a body and an area is. Is there like a cool documentation? Doesn't exactly help. Okay. We will never know. Is it the first time you shoot? No. Okay. Interesting. What if it's that? If my, like, maybe my level's inverted? No? Doesn't seem to be. Hit from inside. Okay. I guess we'll, whoa. Cool. This is what I was looking for. Great. Here, let's shoot some pink rays, except I don't know if I have to hit for it to do it. Okay. So far, raycasting seems difficult. Players on layer 1. As far as I can tell, everything's on layer 1. Wait. I don't think that would that stop it? I don't think so. Crosshair didn't stop it. It doesn't have a collision box, so it'd be weird if it did. I wonder if I'm like forgetting to save and haven't saved. If I came across a solution but just didn't save at the time or something. Okay, back to 3D view. Oh wait, maybe it is the length of it? Okay, try that. Oh my god, really? Well, at least it's worked. Wait. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Godot, you're so crazy. Okay, so... It hit. It hit. It hit. It hit. It hit, it hit, it hit. When did it... and but I move. Oh. What the fuck? How do I... Is there a way to debug the... Like, is there a way to show it? Is that what the debug shape does? Kind of like do something here. And... Okay, wait. Yeah, wait. Okay, like, is that actually in the game, or is that just in... That'd be really annoying if it doesn't... Oh my god, it's not in the game. I have a feeling that it's not traveling with the character. But it should be, because it's parented to the character. And the character has a script that moves the character, and as far as I can tell, this is parented to the character. But it seems to not be... Am I crazy? Okay, well the debug shape doesn't help much. And when I come back to it, it works again. Like, it works when it's inside the body? Which seems a little weird to me. Here he is. I guess the one thing you can do is you can actually check the remote, and I could probably be like, I'll just host the game, and then I should... Wait, are you telling me the multiplayer breaks this functionality? Where's player just... Oh, fuck. Wait. Is there a way to go remote on the other one? Like... Oh, there they are. So player raycast 1 is, I'm gonna guess, is the server. So we'll just see, does it move? Oh fuck, now I closed everything. Perfect! Debugging games, it's fun. It's fun. Okay. Don't know why they both have to join for it to update. I guess this is the second one is what it's like. Looking at, which is not also super great. Position. Is that in the game? Oh man, it's so hard because I can't escape or it'll close it, and if I hit Alt Tab, I can't grab it. Oh. Wait, what is this? What am I even adjusting? I don't think I'm adjusting anything. Exclude parent. I guess that means it can just be zeroed. It only works when the parent is encapsulating it. Oh, is it something to do with the multiplayer synchronizer? That could do it. That could do it. Not the spawner, is it? It's the synchronizer. Multiplayer, like developing everything multiplayer is so much harder too. Because of like really weird things like that. I might need to just add the raycast, but that's weird. That is weird. Can raycast not have a position? Does it need to be parented to a node? Maybe that's what's wrong. Node. I don't know if that includes rotation. Translation of this node. I think that's would include rotation, maybe? As the host, though, I'm surprised that this would need to be done. I don't think this probably isn't the problem, but it could be. It would seem strange to me. Oh, wait, what? So the ray's not hitting, but if you look at the coordinates, actually 0.3, that could be the inside of the character. Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend it's not the multiplayer synchronizer right now because it probably isn't. Like, I don't think the host is affected by this on its version of it. What's top level do? What's that? Node will not inherit transformations of its parents. It seems like it should do that. Exclude parent was on, right? Yeah. Yeah, those ones that are 0.3 or whatever, like that's the parent. Like that's it hitting like 0.2 meters ahead of, it's like hitting right here. And in theory now, if we shoot this, negative 0.37. Oh, that's right. No, it's not. 3 point. Is that up or down maybe, that one? It's like... I'm so confused. I need to spawn something at where it's hitting as well. Which, area 3Ds. Physics body 3Ds. What is an area 3D? Okay, well that seems like something we might want. Let's move this outside of the parent. Can you just make a scene? No. There probably is an easier way to debug than this. Like, this functionality is probably somehow accessible, but I do not know where it is exactly here. I guess that should not be in here. Get collision points. See, this is also weird because, like, this is adding it to the player. It makes no sense at all. That's what I mean about, like, the weirdness of Godot stuff is, like, this raycast and where it hits, like, it shouldn't be parented to, wait, is get parent this thing's parent? Or is that this parent? Maybe I can do a double get parent and put it back in the world. Or something. Let's complain about the formatting of this. Can you just climb the node tree like this? I don't know. This is definitely greasy and probably shouldn't be doing that, but if that works, it's fine. I just don't want to parent right to the player because otherwise it'll just like move out of the way. And I won't be able to like inspect it. Okay, perfect. Named instance. What is it called? Instantiate? Shouldn't it have caught that as not an existing function? Because it seems to know. Weird. Get index global transform. Maybe we can solve it, who knows? Copy, I think that's the copy button. It's not a 3D node. That would do it, I guess. Oh. No canvas layer. That's weird because that didn't even work. Position, interesting. Position would be simpler. Maybe we can make this like node 3D or something. And then, was it reparent to this? Reparent to it. Dang it. How does this work? There we go. Make scene root. There. So now in the 3D world, does this show up in the 3D world? Maybe not. I wonder if there's just like a sprite 3D thing or something. Actually, let's just take a look. Sprite. Oh, sprite 3D. Alright, there we go. Okay, maybe that doesn't work. New. Give me something that has a size. Can you have a size? What are you? What is this thing? Do I need to texture? Is there like color texture? Just noise texture? Oh, there we go. There we go. Something that's gonna show up. Thank God. Oh, okay. Can I make you two-sided? No idea. But that may work. It'd be nice if it wasn't white. Okay. What in God's name just happened? So we are placing things. God knows where they're going. Okay, they seem to be... let's make this larger. A little debuggy thing here. Can I just... Where is your regular... Oh, there we are. Okay, you will be that color now. You'll also be larger than... How is 0.5 meters so big? 0.2, I guess. There we go. Plunk. Okay. Okay, perfect. Love that. Apparently 0.2 meter. Well, I don't, it's pixel size, and I don't really know what that means. What's pixel size mean? I don't know what pixel size means in 3D space. All I know is this is too big. There we go. See, it casts. Oh, it's just because I'm not on the right side of those. It's not double-sided. Okay, so what happens if I. Why is it. Oh. Right. I understand. Oh, I understand many things that are happening now. One thing I like to do is make this two-sided. The reason it's not working is because it moves like this with the character, but it doesn't move with the camera. This might fix all our problems. Oh, yeah, no, that's actually correct. I shot into space and it just, like, crashed. Because it didn't hit anything, because it actually is not hitting things sometimes now. Or else I suck. Wait, if player raycast is colliding, would that not be safe? Okay. Maybe I'll ask ChatGPT how that's possible. See if it has an idea. Is colliding. Is it... What, isn't is colliding... safe? Like, you think it'd be a safe function. I guess it's not. Okay, I guess. Yeah. Okay. If it exists and it's colliding, I don't know why you'd have to do that. Because I don't know why it wouldn't just... Okay. Well, now it... That doesn't hit anything. I don't think that's correct. Like, checking for existence doesn't make any sense to me. Because, like, of course it exists. Yeah. Like, I wish there was a way to, like, in 3D, and there probably is, to figure out... actually, it should actually be in the middle of the camera, which is... It'd be interesting to know if there's a way to just, like, reset it right to the camera's view. Is there a way to do that? If I just zero this, is it just going to be right in the camera's view? Yeah, and then we exclude parent, and then it's right in the middle of the camera. That's at least something that we would want. Okay. There we go. Now it should actually be where it's supposed to be. So that's something anyway. Okay, progress. It's slow, painful, but it is happening. Bonk. Now I just gotta figure this one out. It's definitely enabled. Is there like a safe version of this? And also, like, why the hell did it work before? Unless the raycasts... It shouldn't have to be 90 degrees, like that'd be really weird. is colliding? Considering the vector length. Okay. It's still long, isn't it? Maybe it's too long? Maybe it just doesn't like it being that long. That would seem weird to me, but it's possible, I guess. Maybe hit from inside needs to be on? Oh. It meant it was literal. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what the fuck this raycast is. I'm so used to like Rust errors, which are like really descriptive. But anyways, good news that we got it fixed. Like, it should just be like, this shit's literally missing. You have not imported this variable. Also gotta figure out how to make these two-sided in Billboard, and then that'll be pretty good for us to figure out how to, Okay, progress. Right. So, we just want this thing. Can we make this a billboard? I have no idea if you can make... Oh, this is a Sprite 3D. Like, so it should be... have things... Oh, there we go, billboard. Yeah. Whoops. That should make it always face us, so we don't even have to make it two-sided in theory. Oh, it's always the wrong direction now, isn't it? That's cute. Wait, you're not billboarding at all. You lied to me. You wish you were billboarding. Did I not save? Double-sided is on. There's so many controls. They're all probably important, but... Oops. Why am I pacing? Why does my middle mouse wheel pace crap? Oh god. Okay, these billboards are quite... Also, why... How am I hitting things... Like, what? I don't think excluding these work quite properly. Let's just move the thing outside of us. Yeah, should be fine. And that should not happen anymore. Yeah, it shouldn't hit. There we go. I still don't understand what's going on with this Sprite 3D. Maybe it needs to be the root. Where is that raycast? Sprite 3D, we'll just make the Sprite 3D the root. Maybe we don't need anything else. Maybe it'll function more like we expect this way. I gotta admit, this billboarding functionality is strange to me. You just have to billboard, my friend. That's all you gotta do. I wonder what Y billboard means. And also, does it billboard in the preview? I should just make it do a cube. Like, I should literally just make it do a cube. It'd be easier. 3D node. Okay, we'll just do this. And we'll just make like a tiny cube, because it'll actually be easier than this. I believe. .3D scene. CSG box. There we go. Make it. Oh, can I just. No. No, no, no. Oh god. How do I just. No. Okay. There we go. Cube, don't let me down. When in doubt, throw cubes at shit. There we go. Now we have a... Does it... Where are these cubes going? It says that's not a hit? Oh, right, These raycasts are sus. Alright, I gotta make them a different color because it turns out I just couldn't see them, I think, because they were the exact color of the background there. Let's make this cube a different color. I'm happy with this cube. It is doing a lot more for us than the billboard ever could have dreamed of doing. Than the Sprite 3D billboard. I assume if you use the Sprite 3D billboard correctly, it is quite nice, but I don't know how to do that. Didn't I see like light transmission or something here? Emission. Emission is nice. It's not, usually it doesn't make it glow like a light. It usually makes it, it just turns it this color. It shouldn't emit light. It should literally just be pink. Well, that's not like emission as I know it, but that'll work. The problem is I can shoot my own directional pointer here, but when we have the actual game, that's pretty easily solvable. Like, that's why you can just do this and be like, put them there. But I'm pretty pleased with what's going on here. If we could sync this across, that'd be amazing. Because that's like the start of the actual game. Like, that is kind of like the actual beginning of where it starts to look like something instead of just a random toy test. It's starting to actually like be like, okay, I can see some game mechanics actually in this. You can actually do something. Not that's very useful yet, but we just keep expanding upon that system until it's actually fun in theory, and you know, place blocks of arbitrary sizes and build things, and hopefully different shapes. So like kind of like crappy Minecraft, I guess, at first, and then make it into some sort of game that can serialize and save and load and be played. So as for how to actually make that into a like make it so it's going to spawn these things on everyone's game, that could get fairly interesting. So let's... We could try and make this an RPC. I can't believe that works. But, the easiest thing to try and do is just be like, we'll make this an RPC. And then just screw around with it. I guess position, maybe? Which would be like a vector 3. Is that... Okay, that's what they call it. Normally when you're making a multiplayer game also, so it's going to make it a lot harder than what I'm doing, and the reason I'm making this like kind of like peer-to-peer multiplayer, at least right now, is if you're doing a real multiplayer game, you can't trust the client at all. So you can't do any of this, what I'm about to do, because it would be easily hackable, and the server's not verifying anything, it's just trusting the client that you did place something there. You're telling the server, you're not checking with the server that you can do something, basically, is the difference. So if you make something for real that you don't want people to hack, the multiplayer code is very different. You don't tell the server the result of what you did, you tell it what you did. It tells you the result. So you go, I want to hit A to walk like left. And the server goes, okay, you hit A, you're walking left. You don't tell the server, like I will because I'm lazy and this is how we're going to do it, like I'm at this position. Like you don't tell the server that, because as soon as you're telling the server that, you're just like, you know what, I'm across the map. Like that's how people cheat at games, basically. And the less you do of trusting the client, the harder it is to cheat at the game. That's pretty much how to program unhackable multiplayer is. You don't tell the server what you did, you tell it the input, and it tells you what you did. Place cube, vector 3. Okay. I like the naming of this. I was like, it's not, it's just literally the vector of it, and it's, I'll just call it collision vector. Let's actually make this, oh, how do you spell collision? Collision? Is that right? It looks weird, but I think that's actually right. Oh, it's right there. Collision. Did I do it? I did it. I'm incredible. Okay, so we want place cube, was it? Like, that's what I called it. Collision vector. And oh, that should be .rpc, I think. Collision vector, I think it's like that. This is gonna go here. I wonder if there's a way I can just like move all of it back, like. There's definitely gonna be a shortcut to do that. I don't know what it is, so I just do it manually. Okay. It hates it. It hates it so much. Oh. Just call it the same thing. I always like to name arguments the exact same, so it's just like, it's just clear. You don't have to like, in your brain, switch the name of an argument. Okay, now we gotta figure out how to make this an RPC. The other weird thing about this that's gonna be very complicated is, okay, so you placed a bunch of these. Like this is, you can't do it like this. Like this is a naive solution. Naive solutions are fine when you're getting started programming, because it's like, you make the immediate problem in front of you work, but you're not thinking down the road. And you don't want to think too far down the road. You don't want to over-engineer things. But like, once you're like more experienced at things, you go, okay, this works. I'm placing a cube and it shows up on his computer. Okay, well, where's your repository of where every cube is, so when a new player joins, it can populate the world, right? Like, it's like, you got to think of these things. But you don't know them when you're starting out. That's why it's fine to do naive solutions when you're beginning. Because, like, this is why I'm intentionally not looking up too much documentation. You will learn faster when you just, like, screw up repeatedly. Like, I'm never gonna forget to parent a raycast to a camera again for the rest of my fucking life. Because that took, like, 30 minutes, right? Like, it's not wasted time. It's 30 minutes. You spend 30 minutes to never forget something. Like, no matter what game engine I go to. Every time I parent a raycast, I want to make sure it's parented to the camera or that it has all the rotations. So this RPC, call local, I don't actually really understand this RPC architecture. Like, RPC and call local calls it on mine and the other person's computer, I believe. But I'm not sure, like, if I need any peer. I don't really get what any peer does. But I'll figure that out eventually. It's something to do with, like, when other people can call it on yours, I think. But again, I don't program many multiplayer games, so like all this is pretty foreign to me. I would bet $2 that this will work. Let's see if I owe everyone watching $2. And if it does work, you owe me $8 million. All right. Okay, so I place those. I join. They're not there, right? Like that's one of those problems I was talking about. But if this person places one, hey, look at that. Look at that, we have a game. Hey, the reason that they're in the air is, again, I can target my own nose to place them. Because I haven't done the masking properly of the layers that it should hit and shouldn't hit. I just call it the player nose. It's so you can tell what the direction he's facing, obviously. Alright, well, that's probably gonna do it for this one. I am working on this most nights, so just tune in tomorrow night and I'll continue to work on this project. I guess the next thing would be should I actually work on making it so that it's, I don't know if I should work on more like basic functionality and just leave it a piece of crap. Like, be like, I don't know if I should just pursue the naive implementations because I don't know the full development space of what the game's even going to be, or if I should start refactoring this to actually have some kind of data structure so it can actually synchronize with the the other player when they join. That sounds difficult, and I don't really know my way around Godot too well to know like how that would even really be approached. I haven't seen many tutorials on people saving data, and it's well like synchronizing data over the web on multiplayer games, which leads me to believe it's probably difficult and tedious, so no one wants to even do tutorials on it. To be honest, I don't even know what the data structures in Godot are. I don't know what kind of dictionaries and structs it uses. Like, I've never even seen them, so I'll have to figure that out. What can even hold this data? And then when you join... Actually, it might not be that hard, because you can almost do a naive implementation of that functionality as well, where you just literally stuff it in a dictionary somewhere and just try and just load it right up as soon as they join. And that might do it. Like, that might be good enough. Yeah. Well. I wonder if I should attempt that now. Well, I guess I will. I mean, there's 30 minutes left anyway of what I told people the stream would be. Let me see if I can do anything like that. This could either be... If this just works out the bat, like, and we can do a dumb naive implementation of this, that's great. I don't know if we'll be able to. I need a structure to hold the positions of all the instantiated... I don't know, I just call them components I have spawned. So another player can... How is he going to get the data? Is there a function that just any peer can call that gets them? I guess that would work. I guess that's how you do it? I don't know. Let's say download the existing placed... Actually get, I guess, it's not really downloading. Components when they join the game. I don't know how much it's gonna understand what I'm asking here. Dictionary or array? Okay, what kind of dictionary do we got here? How do I push a vec3 to a dictionary? Array? I don't... Well, we could do an array of dictionaries, I guess. Yeah, let's try that. Because I also need this to serialize out to JSON, I believe, eventually. I'm not going to worry about that yet, but... Because if it serializes out to JSON, then I can save and load levels. And that seems pretty important, right? So... oh, this doesn't look too bad. That looks pretty simple. Yeah, okay, let's take a shot at this and see what we get. Can this be serialized to JSON? JSON is just a nice interchange format that can just sit on your computer. It's text, and I think you could probably save it in other formats. I like JSON because it's human readable, and like maybe there's another Godot specific way that it just saves out data, but JSON's a pretty nice way to debug and everything as well. Like you can just take a look through and be like, oh, that's formatted weirdly. Like I see that that's not working. Rather than something that's like, you know, encrypted or in binary or something. Okay, yeah, looks like we'll be able to do this pretty easily, I think. Alright, let's just try it. Let's get into it. The player... Should the player... See, this is like the stuff that weirds me out about Godot. It's like, this shouldn't be encapsulated so much that this is difficult for such a small app. Like, this basically needs to be on the world script, which means the world now needs to know... Oh, and also... Only the host player needs to know about it, because if he leaves... Because this is a very simple multiplayer model of, like, the host is the host, and when he's gone, like, the game's over. Which is not what you get from a AAA game or something. We usually, like, swap who the host is, or there'd be a server in the middle, which would probably be more common swapping who the host is, because, like, you don't really want someone hosting it because they could cheat. Depending on what you're doing. But in this case, since I'm doing this and I'm cheating, trusting clients, the server player is always there. What is the way to do this? The smarter way, I think, would be to have it so that the placement of a block would be an RPC call to the server host, which would then resync everything back, almost as like a confirmation that everyone has the same data. Because what if you clicked and then dropped internet? That's probably how it should work. I don't know if that's how I'll do it, because number one, glitches can be really funny. So if you drop internet and place a bunch of bricks, they might just never be there on anyone else's, which would cause hilarious glitches. Plus, that sounds like really boring, not fun stuff to do, to like actually do the RPC to place the bricks in the array. Yeah, I think what this should do. Well, the world needs to know about this function though, because the world has the stuff of where, like, if someone joins, that needs to call this function. Where is it? How come it only does this? Why doesn't it add a player on the join? How does that work? I have many questions for Godot. Like, if a player's never spawned for the person joining, then why does it work? It's weird when your stuff works when it seems like it shouldn't. I have to look into that, because I am not sure why the join person doesn't create... Like, the only thing I see about this is, like, create client, but nowhere in here does it ever say anything about spawning. Wait. Okay, so you're the host. Creates a server. It connects. When someone connects, it does add player. Okay, so it is doing it. For everybody, I guess that is. Okay, so I think this is something about, like, non-procedural code. I believe what's happening here is this is a signal that, like, I hate shit like this personally, because, like, it's like why, like, because it causes what just happened, me not understanding it. Of course, like, if you're familiar with Godot, like, you would get it immediately. Connect, I believe, is something you always use with a signal. Signals are kind of like a weird observer pattern kind of thing, which, in my opinion, should never touch anything ever in the universe, because they're just bullshit. But, like, I can understand, like, kind of why you'd want them in a game engine. But basically what you have here is side effects. Like, you have mutability and side effects added as soon as you have, like, the signal system to, like, the nth degree. This stuff could probably go in any, like, I believe that this could even go below this. Like, I don't think it matters where this goes, as long as it's in this function. Like, it should probably just go first, I guess. And it should probably be commented that, like, it should just be something like this. There we go. Wait, is it just mad now? Like, I don't like having to do stuff like this, because I just like having the procedural code read as it should go. Like, it's just exponentially more difficult to work, especially on code bases that aren't yours, when things are laid out like this, like where you have, like, a line that you're reading procedurally and it just does something completely different, completely asynchronous to what your function's doing. Yeah, but I mean, like, you can't really follow Godot for that. Like signals, a lot of people want them for various things. And a lot of people actually do like signals-based programming, like observer pattern type things, or whatever you want to call it. I don't. Like, I typically work on a large system that I'm one of very few programmers on, and the more complexity you add of that kind of nonsense, the harder it is to work on, and the slower it is. Because you're already trying to keep a complex system in your brain, and when you have extra complexity, like signals and mutability and whatnot going everywhere, and side effects, like when your functions aren't pure, basically, it takes way more brain power to understand them, and to debug them, and to test them. Basically, it's not worth it, in my opinion. Okay. So when a player is added, it should populate, it should instantiate that dictionary of objects like here, like how do I make the player call it? It should work, because like, okay, you add the player, then the player instantiate object db.rpc, or load placed objects, we'll call it something like that, something more descriptive. Load placed objects.rpc. So if we have, this is gonna be so confusing. Like I do kind of want to experiment with just putting one script in the auto load and doing everything from there, because like this to me does not seem worth the trade-off of splitting these scripts up. On like encapsulation at this level just makes no sense to me. If yeah, like I explained earlier, if it was a huge project, but like this is just like annoying at this point. Because now I need to figure out, does the player know about the world? Like, the player doesn't know about the world at all, which means that we'll have to set up signals to do this. It's so greasy. It's so greasy. Why is it like this? There's got to be a smarter solution, but as I keep saying, I am a noob at Godot. I'm probably doing everything wrong, and someone's experience at Godot is going to be like, you're just doing this wrong. You just don't understand it, which is very true. I don't quite understand the model yet. We could do it, I believe, with signals. Like, we could have it emit a signal when the player places an object. The world script picks up that. Oh, I can't. Like, my skin crawls saying this. It's just like, programming a deliberate massive side effect is just so weird to me as like the solution to the problem, because like whenever you do that, it's like a hack, and it's weird to like just do that as part of like every fiber of my being knows that it's just going to cause me headaches later, so I just don't want to do it. But I think that would be I think that would be an accepted use from decent Godot devs of probably how you would use signals. Like this would probably be an okay case for it, I think. Like in my brain, I'm going like, okay, testing out the window, debugging out the window, like procedural code out the window. Like, not the biggest deal in the world, but when you keep making decisions like that, the project will get unmanageable, and it will get unmanageable before you've reached any sort of real scale. I think anyway. Or like any sort of real scale where you can still actually work on it in a meaningful way and it doesn't just slow to a crawl. Okay, so place cube. Somehow we can make it emit a signal. Actually, can you make it emit a signal that goes to a parent? Pretty sure that's wrong. Okay, so we just place this signal Because like the nice thing about Signal is like if you're especially a new program, you're going like, what? This guy's an idiot. This is such an easy way to solve the problem. Just give it a few years and then come back and talk to me. It is an easy way to solve a problem, but that's part of the issue. Is it just like it's the side effect nature of it that compounds. It's not like if you had a project that ends here and you just need one signal, the project's done. Yeah, do it. But it's like if you have a big project, it's kind of like an anti-pattern to me. But okay, so let's say cube placed. Because like half the complexity of this code is going into making it conform to this weird shit where it's like, where it's getting around this weird encapsulation. Why don't I just have access to everything in one script? Like, why? It's like an artificial problem to me. Because I'm a new Godot developer and don't understand probably, but it's called vector. Okay, cube place vector. So when they place something, this should no longer be an RPC call, and in fact, it shouldn't be a call at all. It should just emit the right out here. Cube place emit. I think that's right, isn't it? Okay. And then place cube goes into the world, and it's no longer an RPC, I believe. Is it? Is it an RPC? No, it's not. Wait, if this is here, and you place the cube, how does it get the data to everybody? Because it changes, it's not place cube anymore, it's update cube positions or something like that. How does the server push out? And like, I'm solving a problem that's not even the problem, which I always feel is a sign of like OOP style programming and object-oriented shit. It's like, I'm finding the object-oriented like weird encapsulation solution to the problem, instead of just solving the problem, which is like, I just want to place a fucking brick and have it go to the other player. It's like, but I'm solving like a different problem right now, which is like really weird. I'm solving the problem of like, how do I send a signal to the world that then pushes the updates, instead of just like, how do I send this brick and have it update everybody. Do they all have the world? Maybe it'll still just work. I guess it'll still just work, maybe? Okay. So we emitted the signal, and we need to connect in ready. Oh, gross. So now it's like hard coupled to that's impossible because the player spawned the player is not spawned before the script is ready. On child my signal. Yeah, so this won't work. Maybe the host will just be the host player is just special. Like, it seems wrong, but it could just work. Okay, we'll just do what we were doing, I guess. Emit collision vector. Okay, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna do place cube, and then when you place the cube, I feel like I'm going back to a problem I just had before. And when it puts it into a dictionary. Yeah, the problem was like you can't download the dictionary if it's stored in the player. Unless you do that, like we can just do that get. Yeah, we can just do it the stupid greasy way and just like put it in here and just do get parent. Like it's really dumb, but it probably works. Like it's like called like a code smell. You're like, this is ridiculous to do this, but like it would work. Oh, you know what we'll do? We'll do this weird auto-loading crap. Maybe we can just do this, even though this is kind of like another thing that seems a little weird. We can just do like... I think we can just do this. Script. Objects. Dictionary or something like that, I don't know. I need someone who's really good at Godot to tell me how someone would actually do this. What was that? There we go. Okay. Object dictionary. Okay, so we need a... Okay, so we need a dictionary. That's serializing. Okay, initialize empty array, blah blah blah. Okay, let's just throw this in here for now. So that's our array. We need some basically CRUD functions to access it. Append position. So we just need like a func add object. It needs to take an argument of vector 3 basically. Okay. Vector should be fine. Because the reason I'm doing an object is we can add more things to it, like what's the size, but what is it later, hopefully. Get objects. Vector get objects should be components. Is that fine? Is that fine to do? Can you do that? I've done something wrong. Okay, there, it's happy. Okay. So this is a very basic version of it that should work. I mean, not work, but like we can start to work with this. This is basically a singleton where it's only loaded once per game. So what we want to do is we just want to go object dictionary dot. Does it not have strong typing? Oh, it shouldn't be add object. It should be like, well, I guess it should be add object. And then right now it's just a, what does it take? It's just a vector 3, isn't it? Okay, so we're adding everything to that. That I think should work. And when you first join in world, again, this pattern, you'll hear people debate this, like a singleton like this kind of thing, like where it's like, should you do this? Most people would say probably not. But again, it's a solution to the problem we have at hand. All this will probably be refactored later as I figure out how Godot works. It's not the end of the world, probably. So get objects, was it? Get objects? Okay, so get objects. So we need to do var object. I should be const. Probably always should be using const actually, but. Okay, const means something different in Godot land, I guess. Okay, and then we just need okay. So we just need a for loop that does this, basically. Is that how you do a for loop here in Godot land? Oh, we need the graphic and Position equals object. I think that's it. We do need to actually get the graphic instance though, which is the actual cube. The terrible, terrible name. Graphic instance. Where is this? There it is. I gotta clean that up. That's pretty greasy. It's like the naming's really bad and like this should work. Okay. Print. Wait a minute. I think we do need object.vector, right? Ooh, how do I strong type this? Can I strongly type a return type on this, or like I don't know how I would do that exactly. Where does it go? Is this a thing? Can you do that? How do I type a function? What are you? Can I guess components isn't a vector 3 is part of the problem. Array? Is this something? Oh, I love Rust. I don't have to worry about this shit. Okay. Like, why don't you tell me what it is? Alright, so I guess I'm appending an object. And like, it really shouldn't be hard to access it, so I'll just keep fiddling with it and see what happens here. I think it's just gonna be object.vector. I don't see why it wouldn't be. But at the same time, like, I have no idea if this is gonna work or not. It seems to me like it should have IntelliSense, but it doesn't. So I think this will load the cubes up. Okay, and so this person joins. Or they just won't even load. That's fine too. Because it's crashed. Oh wait, the loading of objects. That should be an RPC that returns the objects. Probably. I think, yeah, like player.rpc. The thing that confuses the most of me is this RPC stuff. Because it's so hard for me to figure out like what runs on my computer and what runs on like their computer. But even still, it shouldn't have crashed. Actually, would this crash if it's empty? I don't think so. Should be fine. So I actually don't really know why that crashed, but it's good thing I'm saving no backups or anything either, so I'll never be able to figure it out and have to like just manually undo all this. Player.rpc. So they call the RPC of RPC func add existing objects. Let's get this thing. Okay, add existing objects. So I want this to run. But I don't want this to run on theirs. I want it to run on this one and send the result to them. Wait, is this any peer maybe? Like, I don't know how to get them to get access to the dictionary that's on my version of it. This might take some thinking about. Both the host and the client. So we don't. This also doesn't make much sense because I think like when the person joining adds like blocks, like I don't know if that will update my object dictionary. I don't think it will. Like I'll have to figure something out. Like it's got to be an RPC, I guess, to. No, it should be in there, I think. Oh yeah, I guess that works. We'll just do like... It doesn't need to be an RPC, I guess I just need to send it down with the player? How do I do that? How do I set it on their computer? I guess they just run the function, but then they don't have the data. Or do they? No, they don't. They need to get the data from the server computer. Yeah, like this is like where I'm thinking this is going is like there's got to be a sync function that has to delete all the objects, place them all, basically to always keep everything synced so it can't possibly go out of sync. But once you have like 4,000 objects, that's going to get absolutely stupid. And so that's probably not going to work either. So like I said, like this is a kind of, it's getting into a bit of a rabbit hole problem where the naive solution is probably going to be fine for what we need. Like, I don't really care if it's a little glitchy at this point. And to do it so it's perfectly synchronized and performant and everything is going to be a decently big project. Because like you're going to be doing like some interesting comparisons on massive amounts of objects. Maybe it's fast enough to do like 4,000 objects, like just maybe that's fine. If it only syncs the differences between them. If it actually resends all the data on every placement, like that could get a bit weird maybe, but I guess we'll see. Anyways, like I'm probably not gonna figure this out like super quick. I might have to spend an hour figuring this out and like getting something working. It's easier to actually build stuff when you're not streaming because like you can kind of like Google more, try more stuff and whatnot. But yeah, we'll just end it here tonight, and then we'll get back to by tomorrow's stream. Maybe I'll just have it like so it kind of like some sort of basic solution to that problem. But yeah, I guess we'll end it here tonight, and I will catch you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, for more amazing game dev action. We'll learn more stuff, do more stuff, build more stuff, and make a sweet game. All right, cool. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you later. Yeah, pretty much it. See ya. Doop, doop, doop.